everyone. I'm Corinne.
And I'm Brandi.
Welcome to A Pod of Tales, the podcast where we read you short stories we made up and now you have to listen to.
Every week we will each present a short story using the same genre, setting, and a challenge item to include. Everything else is up to our own interpretation.
If you already listened to our first episode, thank you very much for that. We really appreciate your ratings and your reviews and the views and subscriptions. We really appreciate all of that and your kind comments so far. We just hope that we can keep it up for you. So this is episode 2, and this week Brandi is going first. So our genre this week is young adult. Our setting is the woods, and our special item is a tree that we have to include somewhere in our story. So without further ado, take it away, Brandi.
Okay. Guys, run! It's behind us, exclaims Brady as he's running through the forest. What is it? Chelsea asks as she's not too far behind him. Where's Kyle? He was right behind us. They both slow down as they believe they are safe. There is a creek with running water in front of them. Brady dunks his head into the water to get cooled down. Chelsea is pacing back and forth, wondering if Kyle made it or if he's dead. Chelsea keeps muttering and breathing heavy. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Her breathing calms down and she takes a seat on the closest rock behind her. Brady, what do we do? We just left him behind with that wild animal or whatever it is. He could be dead by now. I knew we shouldn't have gone this far. I told you and no one listened to me. Oh my gosh, Chelsea, shut up. I can't think with you screaming like that. It could still be out there, so keep your voice down, Brady says angrily with a little bit of fear in his voice. I know we messed up, but I didn't think any of this would have happened. All I did was throw a rock in the tree, Brady exclaimed. And also, you were horsing around with Kyle and jumping off rocks and disturbing the peace in the forest. Mom's gonna be pissed, shrieks Chelsea. You know what? Let's just retrace our steps and maybe we can find him. He's probably just fine. He probably made friends with whatever it is, or he ducked in a ditch or something, Brady says as he hopes he's right. Maybe he can believe it if he keeps saying it as positive reinforcement. They both turn back, being careful of where they step and following their own footsteps. They are walking. They notice that the animal tracks seem to fade out. They weren't very large like a bear. They wondered what could have followed them this far. They were small like a wild dog, maybe a coyote, an actual dog, and they overreacted. They kept walking for a couple miles before they realized they didn't recognize their surroundings anymore. Chelsea states, "This doesn't look familiar at all." She checks her cell phone and no service. Brady, what does yours say? I got absolutely nothing, he says. Oh great. We're lost, I'm hungry and tired, and we can't find Kyle, she says. Look over there, I see something. Brady and Chelsea head towards a small cabin with flowers covering the sides. Wow, this is so pretty. I don't know about this place. It seems weird. This wasn't here before. I didn't think we went so far off track, Brady says. Next to the cabin sits a large pinewood tree, pine cones everywhere, just decorating the ground. It's just an old regular tree in the forest, or so they think. The two of them walk up to the cabin and knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. The door slowly creaks open. Kyle slowly walks out of the house with a face that looks like he's seen a ghost. Oh my God, Kyle, what happened to you? How did you get here? Chelsea runs up to him, hugging him tightly. What was running after us? Did it get you? Were you hurt? Guys, you overreacted. It was just a dog. It was nice. He only growled because we were messing around and it scared him, Kyle explains. Okay, but explain why you were in this house. Why didn't you come after us, hissed Brady. Well, I was with the dog, and it was coming from the direction that you ran towards. So I didn't understand why you would run towards the danger. The owner came up behind me and claimed him. So after that, I started to go towards your direction to look for you guys. I couldn't find either of you anywhere, and my cell phone died trying to call you," Kyle explained. "Kyle, what was in that house that has your face looking so pale? What happened in there?" asked Chelsea with immediate concern. "So you saw it when you were coming up the driveway, but there's a giant tree, and I went to go sit under it, but I fell through the ground and I landed inside the house.
Oh no.
So I went to go find the exit, but there were never-ending doors and hallways, and I couldn't find my way out until I heard the knock on the door. But here's the thing. I tried opening that same door 3 separate times. I was floating through the same 3 rooms on a never-ending loop," Kyle says.
Well, that's terrifying.
"Dude, whatever you're on, let me have some," Brady laughs hysterically. "No, dude, seriously, it happened, I can show you." "Whatever you say, man, prove it," Brady says sarcastically. The 3 of them go over to the tree and sit down underneath. They all take a deep breath and hold hands to brace themselves for impact. 3, 2, 1. Nothing happened. "See, I knew you were lying. You're just trying to prank us. It's not funny. I want to go home," yells Brady. "Let's just go. It's getting dark and I'm starving. Mom's making dinner." Brady and Chelsea proceed to get up and take a step forward. They both fall into the vortex, Kyle shortly after them. "Ah! What just happened?" screams Chelsea in immediate fear. "Looks like this room is crazy. Everything is upside down. We're walking on the ceiling." Brady and Kyle start laughing as they're jumping from wall to wall and slowly floating in the air. Chelsea reaches for the door handle and opens the door to find the second room. And in that room is a spiked wall and sharp rocks on all 4 sides.
Jeez.
Luckily for them, that door was open, and they floated right through.
What kind of house is this?
It's a scary house. There was room after room, and there seemed to be no way out. Each room had its own theme. The last room that they floated through had many shapes and objects that didn't make a whole lot of sense, because there was nothing but everything in it at the same time. "Now I can see why you looked the way you did when you first came out of the house," Chelsea says admittedly. "How do we get out of here? It's been hours." "Well, actually, it's only been 3 minutes, Kyle says, looking at his watch. "So when you guys were gone for 20 minutes, it felt like I was here for days. Now we definitely need to be home. We're late for curfew. Mom's gonna be so mad at us. I'm supposed to go to a party this weekend. We're so grounded," shrieks Chelsea. "Oh my goodness, Chelsea. You're so annoying. How about instead of complaining, you help find a solution instead of being the problem," Brady yells.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't like
Wait,
each
are
other.
they all friends or siblings? I missed that part.
They're siblings.
Okay.
The 2 go at it for a few minutes while Kyle tries to open more doors, but ends up staying in the loop of the same 3 rooms. The 3 of them were panicking at this point. They wondered if they were going to be stuck there forever. No one knows that they're missing in the forest. Then suddenly they hear a knock at the door. Knock, knock, knock. The 3 of them walk out of the house with wide-eyed looks, face white as ghosts and trembling. No one was at the door. Maybe the house thought it was time for them to go and set them free.
So the house kind of kept them in there and messed with them for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like shook them up and then go, okay, goodbye.
Like, no one's gonna believe you. The 3 of them walk out and set off for home. They were all silent, knowing they could never tell anyone about what they had experienced. Mostly because they know no one would ever believe them. Brady and Chelsea didn't even believe their own brother at first. Why would anyone believe them? They make it home and go up the driveway and open the door to their home. They sneak past their mother and go up to their rooms in hopes that their mom didn't catch them. They all go to bed, barely sleeping through the night, knowing that they just experienced wasn't reality. The next day, Kyle wakes up and goes downstairs to his brother and sister sitting on the couch watching TV and eating breakfast. Kyle was wondering, how can they even eat? Why so calm after all that they've been through? He's still on edge and asks them, "How are you guys so calm about what happened to us yesterday?" Brady looks at him sideways. "What do you mean? What happened yesterday? I wasn't home. I was at Jake's all day playing video games."
Oh, Is this a doppelganger situation?
I guess we'll find out.
Okay.
Chelsea also has the same confused look on her face. I also wasn't home yesterday. I was at Hannah's house studying for a test for Monday. It's half of her grade. I hope you're ready for it. Kyle couldn't believe what he was hearing and started to get pale again. Maybe I should go back to bed and get some sleep. He stumbles back up the stairs, thinking they must be messing with him, or maybe they were trying to block out the experience altogether. He falls back asleep, and then shortly after his head hit the pillow, he wakes up again. But instead of waking up in his bed again, he wakes up in the woods, with his siblings standing around him panicking, asking, "Are you okay? Can you hear me? You fell down and hit your head on a rock." Kyle slowly starts to get up. "Yeah, I think so. I had the craziest dream, though. We were sitting under this tree, and then we got sucked up by a vortex, and we fell in this house with never-ending rooms, and we couldn't get out. It was absolutely insane." Brady and Chelsea in sync tilt their heads to the left and put their pointer fingers to their mouth and say, "Shh, it's listening."
Oh.
Knock, knock, knock. Kyle is back in his bed again, awakened by his alarm clock for Monday morning. He suddenly wakes up in a cold sweat and runs downstairs. "Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. Where's Brady and Chelsea?" They both turn their heads and say, "Who?" The end.
What? What? Were you watching Inception or something before you wrote this?
No.
So, it's all dreams?
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly.
Or he just keeps waking up in different realities.
That too.
Yeah. That's wild. I couldn't figure out where you were going with this, and then every time I thought I had it figured out, you changed it again.
Exactly.
Oh, that was good.
Thank you.
Good job. It was a warm summer night when I lost my best friend, Jessie.
Oh. Oh.
We had always talked about how we would have the best Sweet 16 birthday party together, as our birthdays were only a week apart. We've been planning it since we were 13, from the guest list right down to the outfits we would wear. Jessie and I passed out secret invitations at school to those we deemed worthy to come, and would keep the location a secret from anyone else. It was going to be at the old abandoned mill at midnight, so we had plans to go to traditional dinner with our own families, and then to sneak out around midnight for the real festivities.
Ooh.
Jessie met me at the corner of my street, and we began walking toward the town forest. I pulled out my flashlight as we ventured into the dark trees, and although we knew the path well, we still needed to listen to the sound of music to guide us through the pitch black. "I think I can hear the bass," Jessie said, taking a turn at a tree stump. The detour didn't feel familiar, so I paused to listen again. Sure enough, there was some repetitive banging coming from deeper in the woods. "I don't think that's music, Jess," I said. She stopped to listen as well. "Oh," she said, "you're right, that is weird. I could have sworn it sounded like the beat to a Billie Eilish song." I started to laugh. "I'm pretty sure it's just some animal. I think the mill is this way." We turned around, and this time I led the way. Thankfully, we weren't too far off from the mill and heard actual music playing after a few more moments of heading in the right direction. Our friends were already there waiting for us and shouted, "Surprise!" when we emerged from the trees. "We were starting to think you weren't going to come." Our friend Dustin passed us cups. "Jessie tried to get us lost," I said. Before he could respond, Jessie came to her own rescue. "The music carries weird in the woods, and it sounded like it was coming from different directions." Dustin's face fell. "Does it really? I'll have to tell Amy to turn it down. We don't want the cops to hear it and show up." As the music lowered, Jessie and I greeted our other friends who came. Some of them brought plus ones who weren't actually invited, but Jessie and I decided we didn't care. Everyone was in a great mood and having fun, and the night sky was clear with a bright full moon. We were in the middle of nowhere, away from the pressures of society. No phones were necessary to have out other than to take pictures of the good memories, because there was no signal to be detected. It was even more of a perfect night than our 13-year-old selves couldn't dreamed of.
Aww.
By the time 3 a.m. came around, people started to bid their farewells and head home before their parents woke up. Before too long, it was just myself, Jessie, Dustin, and our other friend Steve. We decided to start cleaning up the mess of carelessly discarded cups, paper plates, and pizza boxes. Thankfully, someone thought to bring trash bags. "Where are we going to put all these bags after they're full?" asked Jessie. "Let's just leave them inside of the mill," said Steve. Dustin immediately cut in. "No, we can't do that." "Why not?" I asked. "No one ever comes here but us."
Littering.
Yeah. Dustin says. "Because animals love trash. What's the point of picking it all up if they're just going to redistribute it everywhere?" The rest of us sighed loudly, knowing he was right. So each of us had a full trash bag to carry back through the woods, and we agreed that we'd dump them in the first dumpster that we found. As we lugged ourselves back through the trees, we stopped dead in our tracks as we heard the banging from earlier coming from deep in the woods. "There it is again," Jessie said. "No way." Dustin's eyes grew wide, and even in the darkness I could see the mixture of fear and excitement on his face. "What?" Steve asked. Dustin ignored him and proceeded to drop his trash bag and search the ground for something. Jessie, Steve, and I looked at each other in confusion as the banging occurred again. Dustin picked up a big stick and started banging it against the nearest tree. As if in response, the distant banging replied, pausing again for Dustin. "Someone get their phone ready for a video," said Dustin when he stopped beating the tree. "Why?" I asked, concern growing. "What's going on?" There was a loud grunt that came from seemingly every direction, startling us. Jessie and I stepped closer to each other out of instinct to protect each other, and didn't know what to make of Dustin continuing to knock on the tree. "No way." Steve was looking at Dustin with an excited understanding that I didn't know. Dustin halted his knocking long enough to reply, "Dude, yes." "We probably shouldn't be calling it over, though," Steve's demeanor becoming more uneasy. "Calling what over?" I was starting to panic. "Just let him get close enough for a video and then we'll run," Dustin said to Steve. "Why will we need to run?" asked Jessie. Dustin looked at both of us with the type of madness I've never seen in a person before, and when he spoke, there was so much confidence, I almost took him seriously. "Bigfoot." There was a moment of silence as I was processing what he was saying, and then Jessie and I started laughing. "You asshole," Jessie said. "You really had us scared for a minute there." But Steve just shook his head. "That was a good birthday prank, boys, but you'll have to do better than that next year," I said as I picked up my trash bag again and turned to leave. "Wait, stop," Steve called after me. I was about to turn and say something back at him, but he had his finger to his lips and his eyes widened. "What?" I asked, frustrated now. "Listen," Dustin whispered. I humored him but heard nothing. The banging had stopped all around. Complete silence.
"Bigfoot's real,"
he whispered again. Complete silence, he whispered again. I furrowed my brow as I realized he was right. No crickets, no frogs, no owls. Only the still night air that didn't blow in any direction. Something felt off. And then came the smell. Jessie...
Did Bigfoot eat all the frogs?
No. When Bigfoot's around, nature goes quiet.
Okay.
Because he's an apex predator. Where was I?
Sorry.
That's alright. Something felt off. And then came the smell. Jessie covered her nose and mouth as the stench grew stronger around us, and soon I followed suit and tried not to gag. Dustin was taking his phone out when Steve suggested that we needed to get out of there. "No way," protested Dustin. "If we get this footage, we'll be rich." "We can't take on a fully grown Bigfoot," Steve argued. Then there was a rustling in the thick greenery behind us, and before anyone could say anything else, Jessie took off running. The boys and I were stunned, but Steve looked me in the eyes and said, "Go, we'll catch up." So without a second thought, I left to chase after Jessie, dropping my trash bag in the process to lighten the load and run faster. When the boys started to scream, I felt a jolt of adrenaline increase my speed. All I could think about was catching up to her and getting to safety. "Jessie!" I screamed as I ran towards what I hope was the right direction. I felt a sudden drop in the ground and fell, twisting my ankle on the way down. I clutched my foot in pain as I tried to stand up again and looked to see what it was I had tripped on. To my shock, there was a massive human-like footprint, at least 18 inches long. and a couple of inches deep. I reached down to touch it and took out my phone to take a picture with my own foot as a comparison. I was conflicted at what I was supposed to believe here. Just then, I heard a loud rustling in the trees next to me and ducked down just low enough to be undetected. A massive creature ran right by me on 2 feet. It was covered in hair, around 8 feet tall, and seemed to be the source of that nasty smell as it wafted over to me in the breeze. Steve and Dustin ran towards the creature yelling, "Take me with you! And this is awesome!" "What is wrong with them?" I said quietly to myself. Then Jessie's scream snapped me back into focus. I had to find her now, but my ankle made it impossible to run again. I knew I needed to try anyways, and came out of my hiding spot to hobble over as fast as I could. I managed to get close enough to the source of her screaming when I saw the creature looming over her, cowering figure.
Oh no.
Bigfoot. It picked her up like she was a rag doll, and her fighting was useless against the solid mass. It simply barked in frustration, and she eventually gave up the fight and kept still like it wanted. I could see the fear in her eyes even from the distance as it carried her off back into its hiding place. When Steve and Dustin caught up, I was crying out for Jessie, unable to chase after her. And until further notice, that's the end.
Oh my gosh! Imagine that, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what happened to your friend? Oh, Bigfoot.
Well, I was thinking about making it a little bit longer, and then I was like, it would be kind of fun if we had some that, like, we wanted to expand on, but, like, couldn't think of it in the moment. Like, if we ever get a prompt that could line up with it again, it would be kind of like a fun part 2. Hey, remember this story? Why don't you go back to episode 2 and listen to it, and then come to this one?
Yeah, I like that.
There's a possibility that this one will have a part 2 at some point, just not right now. As far as we know, Jessie is being dragged away by Bigfoot.
Or dead. Or eaten alive.
I don't know if Bigfoot eats people.
Huh.
I think he just gets mad and hits them or something. So now we need to come up with next week's challenges.
What do the coconuts say?
So in case you have not listened to episode 1 yet, we have these little plastic coconuts. They're supposed to be cups, but they're really hard to drink out of, actually. So they've turned into holders for our little pieces of paper that have the challenges in it. So we're starting off with this kind of stuff. But what is this one? What was purple?
I don't remember.
I don't remember what purple is.
I guess we'll see.
Oh, this one is the genre. So that one.
Setting.
Yeah, the setting was green.
Yeah.
We'll use this one, because I don't remember which one we used before. Let me look at this one. Okay. And then here is our challenge one. Okay. So coconut number 1 is the genre. Would you care to read it, Brandi?
Science fiction.
Ooh. Okay, so next week we have to do a science fiction. I don't remember which one this was.
I guess we'll find out.
Oh, this is the setting. Okay. Oh,
We
hang
got
on.
like 5.
The one that I'm holding on to the most. A hairdresser. Wait, this isn't setting. Oh, at the hairdresser, like the salon.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So I was like, this one is definitely the setting one. So, science fiction at a salon.
Oh my god.
Or a barber.
Yeah.
Whoever does hair. Whoop. And Brandi, should that one be our special item? Because it jumped out. Okay.
It chose us.
It chose us. Tell us what it is, Brandi.
A cup.
A cup.
We have to include a cup.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so next week, our story is a science fiction at the hairdresser's, and we have to involve a cup.
Yeah.
You up for the challenge?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But also, we have a Halloween episode coming out, too.
Yes. Okay, so yes, this does come out the Friday before Halloween. So Halloween is on a Tuesday this year. Our episodes air on Fridays. But Halloween is too cool to pass up for creative writing, so we have decided that we're going to have a bonus episode on Tuesday, October 31st. So keep an eye out for that, and we will be releasing information too and reminders on our social medias. So follow us on Facebook at A Pot of Tales. We have a whole page dedicated to the show, and then Instagram. We're pretty much right now. I think we have a TikTok too, but we haven't made anything for it. So Facebook and Instagram, we will be putting out the announcements to let you know when the episodes come out and the bonus episodes. And then if you listen to us on Spotify and or YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. It means the world to us that you're listening. And we really hope that you're enjoying these stories as much as we are writing them.
Yes.
Yes, so we're having a lot of fun with this so far, and hopefully we can forever.
Forever.
No pressure, Brandi, to stay here forever. Okay. But, so have a great week, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.